Welcome to Vaylin Health, that show on the internet in which you learn how to make things or you don't know how to make things, in which you get healthy and you lose weight, or maybe you don't lose weight because you don't do what we tell you to do. That show. Welcome.
Hello.
This is Jessica. Jessica, tell us about yourself. Go, you have 30 seconds.
I'm a vegan. We're going to make vegan lasagna. Is that good?
That was fine. That was not 30 seconds. Now we need filler. What do we need to make vegan lasagna?
Okay, I put all the ingredients out here. And I arrange them by the different layers because it's a 4-layer lasagna. So one of the layers is just spinach.
Right.
You just get bagged spinach.
50% off spinach. We need
50%.
It has to be half off.
We're poor, so.
That's true.
One layer is the lasagna noodles. I use the Healthy Harvest because as a vegan I need iron. That's something that's hard for me to get. And they have, like in one serving, there's like 20% of your daily intake of iron that you're supposed to have. You can make your own marinara sauce, but I find this is way easier because it's $1.50 for a can. It'll do the whole lasagna.
Nice, and this is Hunt's?
Hunt's. Thick and rich. And just the original one, because like if you get 4 cheese, obviously that's not vegan, so just get the original one. And then these are all the ingredients for our cauliflower and tofu ricotta. A head of cauliflower. We have a bulb of garlic.
You use the whole thing?
Well, I like a lot of flavor. I like things to be very flavorful, so I use a whole bulb. But
you like to be punched in the mouth with flavor.
I like to be punched in the face with flavor.
Understood.
So I use a whole bulb, but if you don't like garlic as much, you could use like a couple cloves, that's fine. 1 medium to small onion. Package of fresh basil. It's important you use the fresh.
I watered this once.
A little bit of lime or lemon juice. Silken tofu. You can use silken, you can use extra firm and crumble it. It doesn't matter. I like the silken because I like it a little creamier. And then nutritional yeast, which is, it's a yeast, it's grown on molasses, and it has like a nutty, cheesy taste to it. I'm using it in the ricotta to get like a cheesy flavor going to it.
Right.
And it has vitamin B12 added, which is also something that's hard for vegetarian and vegans to get without meat. Those are the ingredients for the ricotta. Do you want to make it now? Okay, so we start with the head of cauliflower, so I chop most of it here. So you want to put it all on a cookie sheet like this. You can actually buy like cauliflower already like frozen, chopped into florets that you could use too. Just make sure it's defrosted, obviously. You take some olive oil, just a little, and you just kind of drizzle it like that. I'm not very particular with measurements.
I understand. You're winging it. You
just kind of get a feeling for it, and some sea salt. Grind it on there, and then you just kind of like mix it like that so it kind of gets all over the whole thing. We preheated the oven to 400 degrees. So you're gonna put this in the oven. So you just roast it for 10 minutes, and then flip it with a spatula, and then roast it for another 15 to 20 minutes until it starts to get like brown on the edges. Then in the meantime, while you're waiting for it to roast, you can start cooking your noodles, and you want them to be like al dente, so cook them for like 10 minutes because you don't want them to be too soft, because then when you cook the lasagna they'll be really soft and overcooked. Whenever I do pasta, I always like salt the water liberally, and some people think that that's just because it has like a lower boiling point than water, but that's not necessarily true. It brings out the flavors of the pasta. It's always hard to do lasagna noodles because like you want them to cook evenly, but you don't want them to break. As they cook, they'll like fall down. I'm sorry, I'm making a big mess. I think it's important to cook messy.
Right. Adds flavor when there's messy.
So this is the silken tofu. So whenever you have tofu, you always want to drain it first because it's soaked, it's packed in water. So I just like cut a slit in it, and then it'll just, the water will all come out.
Now what is tofu?
It's made out of soybeans.
Okay.
It's basically refined soybeans, and it's a good source of protein for vegans. When I make this, I do it in a bowl. It looks appetizing, right?
Oh, yeah. Can I just get my hands in there?
I do it in a bowl, and I use a masher like this because I like it to be a little coarser, so it's more like the consistency of ricotta cheese. But if you wanted something a little creamier, you could put all the stuff in a food processor, and then it would be more like a cream cheese.
Right.
The good thing about tofu is it is a good source of protein, but it doesn't really have a lot of flavor. So it really takes on the flavors of whatever you put it in. So I already chopped the onion, I minced the garlic, and I coarsely chopped the basil. So all that goes in, and you just kind of mix it in. And so the different seasonings that you add, like we talked about the lemon juice, so you just put like that much.
Like that much?
I'm not really good with it.
Yeah, it's a few tablespoons maybe.
And then you put some of the nutritional yeast, which gives it like a cheesy kind of flavor. So I just kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that much in.
put that much in, just like a bunch of shakes or whatever. And then we have just some garlic powder, just to give it a little more of a kick. Okay, so when it's done, it should look like this. It should start to be getting like browner on the edges. You basically just put it all into your tofu mixture that you already made, and you just mash it into the tofu and all the garlic and the onion and stuff. Mix it all around, and then that's gonna be your tofu mixture. So after this, we're gonna actually assemble the lasagna. If you put noodles or anything else on the bottom, it'll stick. So you always start with a little bit of sauce, just so that your layers don't.
That should be for making any lasagna?
Yes.
Even meat lasagna?
Even meat lasagna.
Which is so delicious. No.
Next layer is noodles. Then your ricotta, and I just kind of sprinkle it like that, and then spread.
Using roughly half of it.
Third.
Using roughly a third of it.
And then spinach, and just straight out of the bag, the pre-washed out of the bag spinach.
Why is spinach so good for you?
Well, it's dark green. It has lots of calcium in it. There's a lot of like vitamins and nutrients that your body needs, like vitamin D. Okay, so we did that twice. It was the sauce, noodles, ricotta, spinach. So we did that twice. So there's 8 layers right now.
Look at the layers.
So for the last layer, it's a little bit different. You start with the noodles, then sauce, then ricotta. And the reason that you do that is because any of the other layers will, if they're on the top, it'll dry them right out. Okay.
So to any other cooks out there, what would you add to this recipe? Put it in the comments below what you would add to Jessica's recipe to make it better, because I'm sure she'll read the comments as she's in this video.
I always read the comments.
Yeah.
In all your videos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I've seen you on YouTube.
Is there a difference in real life and on YouTube?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Well, except when we're in a grocery store, you just embarrass me all the time.
What? I watered the basil again. Like, what's wrong with that?
Well, you told that lady that one thing. What did you say
What?
to her?
I said she's a very controlling person.
Well, I am, but I don't know if strangers need to know that.
Well,
even though all you strangers know that now.
Yeah, they all know that.
Ta-da! So then this goes in the oven at 350 for 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes out, it's done. We already preheated it to 350.
But we already cooled it from 400.
Yes.
Do you want me to get it?
No.
Get some detail in here. Are you wafting it for the camera?
No.
Smell it, audience. Vegan lasagna. Can it even be called lasagna?
Yes.
If it's not meat and cheese?
Yes. It refers to the type of noodle.
Oh. First of all, it's really good. You cannot tell that it's vegetarian. It actually tastes like there's cheese in here. And that surprises me because I didn't think that would actually happen. I did not have faith. I worried I wasn't going to like the cauliflower, but I like it. It kind of tastes like a really good spaghetti.
It's the basil and the onion.
It's a lot better than I expected. I genuinely worried I wasn't going to like it, but it's actually really good. I'll give it at least a 4 out of 10. Like at least 4. Based on the 2 bites I just had, it's an 8 out of 10. Maybe a 7.5.
What would make it a 10? Cheese, probably, right?
Cheese and meat instead of the cauliflower. So, thank you for tuning in to Vaylin Health, and we will see you next time. Thanks again to Jessica Moyse, who's awesome, and yeah, follow her on the Twitter. Is that okay if they follow you on Twitter? Follow her on Twitter, and we'll see you next time. Action!
No.
Jess figures out how to use the can opener.
I don't. What? I don't get it.
Ah, shorter than I expected.